All right, guys. So let's talk about Ari Aster's new movie, Beau is Afraid, which of course is the third Ari Aster film. I have loved the other two Ari Aster films that were released, Hereditary and Midsummer. I thought those were incredible, and I was I'm so excited to talk about this one, Beau is Afraid, because I did love those other two. Like I said, I thought they were fantastic. But looking at Beau is Afraid, this one is one of those movies that it's going to take another rewatch, honestly, to really fully solidify my thoughts. I'm really ranging on a I like it scale, but I think that I need to watch it more than once to really get my full like idea on it. But I did want to review it. So quick review with no spoilers, and this is going to be really hard to do this because the movie itself is um how do I describe it? It's extremely bizarre, and I mean I expected that, but not on this level, honestly. Like I thought Hereditary and Midsummer both have some insane moments in it, but this one blows it out of the water with some of the things that happens in this movie. um this movie stars Joaquin Phoenix as Beau, and Beau is a middle to older aged man who is trying to go meet his mom, uh, get on a plane to see his mom. And he has all these weird, bizarre adventures on the way. That's the basic plot I want to say without spoiling it. I really can't say much in terms of the plot because this movie is something that you really should go in knowing nothing about. And I knew nothing about this besides the trailer. I did see the trailer in the theater. In whenever I saw other movies, I did see the trailer for this. I was of course excited, but um, I'll say without talking about the plot, I'll say points that I really like. I really loved Joaquin Phoenix in it. Great. You've also got some really stellar performances from a lot of other people that I did not expect in this movie. Parker Posey is in it. Nathan Lane. Um, and then Amy Ryan, who was from The Office. She was really awesome as well. Um, there's a lot of other people, but I don't know the names of them. But I think that those actors that I named stood out to me, and I just knew them by name. So I really liked those. I really liked all the performances in this. I thought it was very, very well done with how all these characters worked. The title is Beau is Afraid, and that is very accurate to the movie because Beau is afraid throughout the whole movie. And Joaquin Phoenix does a great job as this human being who's a little on the spectrum, who encounters all these wacky, crazy, surreal, horrifying adventures as he goes along through this movie. The weird thing is, this is a horror movie, but I thought it felt like less of a horror movie than the other ones, the other two, because it had more of a layer to it, if that makes sense. Because with Hereditary, you knew there was this deep underlying like something's going on because the matriarch of the family has died, and there's something creepy and bizarre happening with everything going on. And with Midsummer, you quickly realize that when they get to this place in Sweden, um, it's really creepy and really bizarre. And in this one, the creepiness at first I really appreciated didn't come from like anything supernatural because that's what the other two movies did. Or well, I guess the Hereditary did. Midsummer was not really that, but I like that this movie went on a level where it was interesting seeing how bizarre this movie and was and how intense it was from the very beginning. And I think it did a really good job of making you really care for this Beau character. And this movie is just torture Beau the whole movie because he's just scared the whole movie. He has all these crazy random adventures that are horrifying but also interesting and fascinating. And this movie, I guess what I'm saying with it not being as horror as the other two, it still is a horror movie. But there are moments in this where it's kind of happy and kind of uplifting in a couple moments. There's a segment in this like halfway through where it's like it's not really that dark. It's like and you saw, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen in the trailer, it's that the animation sequences. It that to me had some interesting moments that were not all creepy, and I like that they balanced that a little more in this, because with Hereditary and Midsummer, it was basically just dread throughout most of those movies, and I love them for it. But this one had a couple weird moments of not that, and I loved how this movie is really humorous as well. The dark humor in this is really good. There are some standout moments of these wacky shenanigans that are just insane. Um, I really loved too the fact that this movie is one of the most bizarre movies. And I was talking to somebody Reese today about this after I saw the movie. It is one of the most bizarre movies to come out of it into a mainstream theater, because I saw this in a Regal theater. I didn't go see it in an indie theater, and it wasn't in an indie theater, but it was easier to see it at this theater. Um, this movie is so incredibly bizarre in a way where I just couldn't, I could only see this in an indie theater. But the fact that it's Ari Aster and he did Hereditary and Midsummer, they put this in regular theaters too. And man, it if you watch this movie, like it's way more bizarre than the other two. Um, the other two are gorier and creepier and more dreadful, and this one has a lot of moments that are just balls to the wall. Like, I've never seen this before, or if I have, I've seen it in one other movie. I really like that. I thought that this movie just did a really good job of being unique. My issue, air quotes, issue with the movie, it's not really an issue, was that I was tired, and it was a 3-hour movie. So in the middle of the movie, it was kind of dragging for me. But it's a movie that I'm going to watch again, because I really do want to see it again and see if my thoughts have changed, because my personal feelings on it, because I was tired, could have brought it down slightly. And it's also a heavy movie in terms of it has a lot that happens. All 3 acts of this movie are so different, and I really like that about it. I like how unique it is in all 3 acts. They're all different from each other, and they do such a cool progression. But the second act was my least favorite. But also, like I said, I was pretty tired. But I wanted to see this. I wouldn't be able to see it for another week if I didn't see it today, so I had to see it today. And I don't know how long this is going to last at a Regal theater. It might not last long because it's not going to make that much money. It's not a Marvel movie, so it's not going to last there. So I had to see it today, and I'm glad I did, even though I was a little tired. I will watch it again. I think I will buy it, because I do want to see it again. I think that it does warrant a rewatch, and I think it is definitely something that I think I could get more on a rewatch, because, like I said, it has so much in it. It is 3 hours long. He originally wanted it 4 hours long, which hopefully we'd have an intermission, but if that happened, but I don't know if we would. But like I said, I thought it was good. I thought it was solid. Or not solid. It was really great, but it had some things in it that, in terms of the second act, I thought was the least interesting, which is weird because it's like one of the most unique out of the 3 acts. But like I said, I think it's just a personal feeling because I was tired. I wasn't like genuinely like as awake of that, and I kind of felt groggy in that time period in the movie. So, like I said, it's not the movie's fault. It's my fault. I'm tired. I work too much. But yeah, like I said, I'll watch it again. But as is right now, I think it's really great. It's a great movie. It's very, very well done. Really, really enjoyed it. So I can't wait for whatever Ari Aster does next. I bet it's going to be another horror movie, because he said with this one he didn't really want it to be horror either, but it's got a lot of horror moments in it. So, but it's also got a lot of funny dark humor moments in it too. So I guess that's his explanation, because he didn't want to do a full on horror movie like the last two. So that's totally fine, because this movie was really awesome still, despite it not being fully horror as much as it felt like with the other two. Like, it felt like there were more moments of comedy in this and more moments of kind of some moments of like fantasy that were like not very dreadful, and that's what I like, that this had a balance with that. But like I said, really enjoyed it. Want to see it again. I will definitely watch it again, but as of now, I thought it was a really good movie. That is it, and thank you guys later. See you later. Thanks.